a steeper trajectory.
Yeah.
I'm going to go live now.
Okay.
And hi, guys. Nicola here, live. Teresa.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you. And happy birthday, Nicola.
Thank you. I was going to make an announcement. That was going to be an announcement.
Oh,
so
was it?
You
I
just
let the cat out
my
of the
announcement.
bag. Oh.
Yeah. Never mind.
Oh,
Hey, we're a little bit early, so we just thought we would hop online to give everybody an opportunity to get here. So bang on 11:30 our time here in Costa Rica, we can go into what we have to say today. So we've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP that we're going to look at. Anything else you want to add to that, Teresa?
Those are the three main ones I trade. So those are the ones I'm interested in. So
great. And we've got two really important announcements. One of them, Teresa's already announced. It's my birthday.
Yeah. You shouldn't have to announce your own birthday. Your friends should do it for you, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I don't care. I don't mind.
So
but it is my birthday. And so it's a very special day. And it looks like the market is still in correction. It's a Friday. Normally on a Friday, we do see a little bit of a correction before the weekend, and we start seeing volume coming out. So we'll be telling you more about that. But I just wanted to show you some presents I got from Teresa. I got a gold Bitcoin. How cool is that? I love it. And I got a bull. Yeah. Oh, you wanted me to put it against my hair so you could see. So that's the bull for our
yeah,
bull
you can't
run.
see him when he's in front of the door.
We could see a bit of a bull run happen maybe on Monday or sometime next week. And then really special, and this is part of the second announcement before we go into the live technical analysis for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. Teresa's an artist, and she did this painting for me, which is Cardano at the top, which is my favorite, abstract version of Cardano, my favorite altcoin, then Bitcoin in the middle, and then the New Earth at the bottom. And the New Earth is a concept that humanity is moving towards making the world work for 100% of humanity, where everybody gets to contribute. And we know that cryptocurrency is part of moving to a new financial paradigm and a new financial system. So put all those together, and that is one awesome painting that you're going to get an opportunity to have, because we're going to turn it into a series of NFTs. And that's the second announcement. I'm creating a whole series of NFTs from my photographs and some of Teresa's paintings, and we're going to be launching that in the next couple of weeks. So if you're interested, not only that, if you want to know how to create and market your NFTs, we're also putting together a free course, which is launching next week as well. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, click all, so you get notified when we make the announcement for that. And then you will be in to receive the information on how to get that free course. And it's going to be an awesome course, because we've gone through the internet on all of the free YouTube videos and have not found half the information you're going to get in our free course. So that is that. What else, Teresa? Is that all we need to say there?
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to me. Yes,
Yeah.
We're having a bit of a party tomorrow, but that's cool. Great. Right, let's get on to Bitcoin. What are we doing? Where are we going? Really important when we have these big dumps, and there's a lot of FUD out there that we're going low, we're going to 20,000, 10,000. Zoom out, take a look at market structure. And this is these pink lines here, this bottom line here represents the support that we have not broken throughout the whole market. And the top line here represents the price that we've not broken above. So this is resistance, right? We failed to even come up to this line in that last run that we had. So that's pretty good. I'd say that's bullish, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it really, and this is something we've been saying since we started the channel, is good odds that we're just forming a much bigger pattern in the market. And when we break out of that much bigger pattern, that's when all hell's going to break loose, and we're going to see that massive run up. So I think really all we're seeing now is another cycle around in this big pattern. And we might even see a third cycle around before this breaks out. A lot of these giant patterns in the market in Bitcoin, we've seen this many, many times. They go to the very, 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 very end of the triangle before they break out. And this is where, you know, we all love Chris, MMCrypto, one of the speakers at our Conscious Crypto event. He waits till those 11th hours and then opens these massive, we call them legendary trades, right? He is one of the original legendary traders in the Bitcoin space. So it's important to know where you are in the overall cycle, right? So right now it looks like, hey, we're cycling around. Good opportunity to make money, but this isn't where we're likely to see the massive breakout for our bull run that we're waiting for.
Not yet, no. And
No.
and what we want to do today is help you look at where are good positions to spot buy at prices of Bitcoin that we will never see again after October. And also, if you're margin trading, you know, where are good positions to get in for when we bounce back up. So you'll see that in here, we've got a downward channel. This is a bullish pattern, but it is a bearish trend, right? We're getting lower highs and lower lows. So we're heading down, and we could go all the way down to as low as 34,575 according to the structure. Now, I know there are prices out there of 33,000, 29,000 and what have you. If we do that, then we're breaking the structure of the entire bull market that we have not done yet, and we're in a bullish type pattern, right? We are creating higher lows, and we're getting ready to get into the pinnacle of this triangle where we break to the upside more than likely. So this is what we want to watch out for. On this channel, if you're new to this channel, we do produce dates that you want to be watching. We've accurately predicted the dump on the 7th of September, the beginning of the Shmeta year. We accurately predicted the dump on the 11th and how it was rumpy, pumpy, dumpy through to the 15th and 16th. So here are some new dates for you. This is, here is a potential, no, hang on, 25th. That should be the 27th. The 27th of September is when we go Mercury retrograde. Oh, I'm in the 5-day. I need to go into the daily. And those are times when we could see the beginning of a trend reversal. So at the moment, we're not in trend exhaustion and the trend is downward, right? So around about, that's Monday, by the way, and Monday is often a pump day or Sunday night. So look out for those. If you're in shorts, make sure that you've got alarms on and you're aware that it's possible we could start seeing signs of a trend reversal. And then obviously the 10th of October. The other dates that we've got here are 26th of Mercury retrograde. In a bull run, we might see a bit of a dip and then the trend reversal to the upside. Last year, when we had that inside of Saturn retrograde, we started the big steep trajectory bull run. So that's another place we could break out of this triangle. The 26th of September, I don't know, Teresa, I think we're probably going to be around about here. You know, maybe down here at around 34, 35,000, 36,000. And then on Sunday or Monday, we'll break up above this here, which is where, you know, which is where we would start seeing upward motion back up to the line here.
Yeah, and it's important to remember, though, that we're coming into weekend trading, right? And often the Bitcoin army and the XRP army and the ETH army rally on the weekend. So we might actually see upward price action on the weekend, you know, which is tradable, right? Good to trade. So it'll be important to watch what's happening in this little channel that's moving downward in the much bigger pattern, right? Because we're trading in a channel coming down in the much bigger pattern that's forming right now.
Yeah, and
so it'll be interesting to see which way it goes on the weekend. But the way it goes on the weekend isn't necessarily indicative of the dominant market direction we're going to be seeing. So I would be, if we do go up on the weekend, I'd be looking for a turnaround on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of contradicts what I just said. So put both in the basket and watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you look at where all the trends are and where all the indicators are, there is further downward action. So if we go down, oh, here's some other dates. Sorry, let me get back to these dates. All of these dates here, 18th of, I haven't got these in a row, 6th of October, 10th of October, and 18th of October are all opportunities where we might see flurries to the upside, because we've got planets coming out of retrograde, which means the magnetics on the planet Earth are going to shift and become freer and easier. That affects the psychology of human beings, as we know, and psychology is most of the people's decisions trading in the market, right?
Yeah. And by the way, I'm not saying I think it's likely we're going up on the weekend. I'm saying if we do go up on the weekend, be cautious with it, because I do think it'll turn around by Sunday if we do see an upward break.
Yeah,
I do think it's more probable we're breaking down into the channel again within the bigger pattern, though. So I apologize if that didn't land that way.
No, that's okay. Look, we've got a bear flag here going into the weekend, as Teresa said, price manipulation, and also there's issues with volume in trading, not quite enough to push the price in any direction. So they can often turn into Bart Simpsons, right? Like that. So if this upwards and downwards action goes on for too long sideways, be careful. Just watch your indicators. And set your alarms, because we might see a sudden flurry to the upside back into this resistance channel. If we don't and we break to the downside, then that's going to take us to 38,300, bearing in mind that we didn't meet the target of the diamond, and the target of the upward channel we've actually broken out of, we just fell short of. But if we come back down, we might meet at 40,135. So bottom line is, some of these bearish targets aren't meeting the target all the way. They're falling short. So if you're going to short this, be experienced. If you're not experienced, I would be setting up for good long positions.
Yeah, if you're shorting, really mind your stop losses.
Yeah.
Like once you're in profit, move your stop loss down. Be satisfied with 70 to 80% of the target if you're shorting. We see this a lot in all of the cryptos, that in a dominant bull cycle, the shorts aren't meeting their targets, and we often get U-turns in the pattern breakouts too. So it's just
totally
have your wits about you if you're trading. This is not a market for the faint of heart.
Totally. So for timing wise, guys, New York Stock Exchange closes, institutional buyers start pulling their money out of the market. So between the time of 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock US Mountain Time, that's our time, sometimes there's a flurry of buying and then dumping. So we could see a whole lot of buying and then a whole lot of dumping around that time, as the institutions want to make that last little bit of money for the profits for their clients for the end of the week. So it doesn't always happen, but just be aware of that. Also be aware of 6 o'clock through to 9 o'clock on a Friday night. Often the Asian retail market comes in, and whatever direction the price is going in, they can cause a flurry. And if they don't cause a flurry, then it'll happen, in the middle of the night when we're sleeping, when the Asian market's about to close and the UK market is about to open. So those are really times to be really safeguarding your capital if you're in trades. Personally, I like to, unless we've got a very, very clear trend, I like to be out by Friday so that I can take Saturday off and come back in on Sunday when volume starts to come back in the market. So let's talk about entry points. I mean, potential entry points. We've got to get our Ichimoku cloud out. What can we see, Teresa, here?
Well, that's interesting. The Ichimoku cloud looks like it's about to flip. So that's always something to pay attention to, right? Like it's we've got convergence in the cloud. So that could be signaling we might be getting a market directional change.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having trouble seeing on your where the lagging
Sorry,
span
yeah,
is.
it's really small.
Yeah.
The red line has just crossed above the
Yeah.
green line. So basically the
Yeah.
conversion line is now at the top and the baseline is at the bottom. No, sorry, the
Yeah.
other way around. The conversion line's at the bottom, the baseline's at the top. So that indicates downward action. But
Yeah.
we're in a green cloud, which indicates we could have a bit of bullish momentum.
Yeah. Where is the lagging span on this?
Lagging
Sometimes
span is at
looking at.
here, it's purple, and it's
Oh,
in
there it
the
is.
red cloud.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh, and
in
the lagging
resistance.
span's running into the cloud
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So often when we see a cloud like this, where it's in the middle of flipping, and the lagging span itself is already it's running into resistance. It's running into the cloud right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes that indicates we may see sideways action with no clear market direction for some time, which would make sense if we're in a flag. Like so we could just see this flag play sideways for a little while before we get a clear breakout in either
Yeah.
direction, right?
So
Um,
Teresa, one of the things that I'm learning about, like when we don't know where the bottom is because we're failing to reach the target, right? And we're getting U-turns. This is a good opportunity. I'm going to put this in here and you guys can screenshot it. 10% of your trading portfolio, like, so let's say that is $1,000, right? If it's less, it's 100, then it's 100. What you can do is dollar cost average in for your margin trade as well. And for me, I'm pretty certain we're going to go to 38,800 by Sunday, if not tonight. So I've got a buy order in of 25% of 10%, which is 250 US dollars, right? I don't have that amount. It's a bit more, but I'm just giving you, making it
just to
round.
make it easy to do the math. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Then I'm kind of thinking we could go to 36,500, which so then there's another 250 buy order. And then this is where you have to look at, if you put in 38,800, you probably need about 7, 8, or 9 X leverage, not high leverage. I wouldn't be doing high leverage in this market till we've hit the bottom and confirmed the bottom. Then you can add to the trade and you can add the leverage. I've got another buy order in at 35, let's see, 35,500. And then another one down at 33, just in case we go all the way down here. Highly unlikely, but this was a really significant resistance point when we were trying to go above it. So I've split it up into four amounts. And then what you want to do is see which one fires up. So if we come down here and we bounce off, I'm in and I can ride it to the top, take the profit and get out as it looks like we're heading back down. Because if we're going back down, especially if we're going back down in an Elliott wave formation and we go lower, I can pick it up again or I can put in another order. And the reason I would get out at the top is because we're in choppy territory. The closer you get to a pinnacle of a big pattern, the more volatile it becomes. And you don't want to miss out on the bottom by waiting to see. Does that make sense, Teresa?
yeah, I often dollar cost average in at the bottom of patterns, even though there is a risk that you might break down, right?
Yeah.
Because it just makes sense. I'm like I do 5% instead of 10, like Nicola. I believe in dollar cost averaging more conservatively, but it's a
Yeah.
good idea to have a formula
Yeah.
that you're trading under, right?
Yeah.
And I did a video on this a while ago where it just makes it's way more profitable to do low leverage trades with a higher percentage of your portfolio and a tighter top stop loss than a higher leverage trade with a smaller amount of your portfolio. And it's the same trade, right?
And that's
And
because of
I've got a
fees.
video on this. Yeah, because
That's because of fees.
the fees will get you a lot higher, and then you have a much better sense of how much of your portfolio you're really putting at risk when you're doing
Yeah.
low leverage trades. So most of the experienced traders always start with 2x or 3x trades. The only time you see them leverage upwards is when they've already got a stop loss in profit, and then they put a much bigger trade in.
Yeah, and they up the leverage. They don't go in on high leverage because you can get stopped out really fast and you can lose your cryptos, right?
Yeah. So when you're entering at the bottom of a big pattern like this and you're doing this kind of dollar cost averaging in, go in really conservatively. When the pattern breaks out upward, that's the time to leverage in and scale up the trade, not here at the bottom of the pattern. Because, you know, worst case, we could be, you know, and I'm not saying this is probable, I'm saying it's possible. Okay, so notice that distinction. Probable means the most likely scenario is we're bouncing off the bottom of this pattern and we're going to break upward. You know, Nicola and I think, are in consensus that's the most probable scenario. But there is a possible head and shoulders forming here. It's not a real pretty head and shoulders, but we could be looking at a head and shoulders here in the bigger pattern. You can't see it here. You have to zoom out to the daily to see it. We would have to break down and wick down for it to be realized, right? And if that's the case, we could be going down. I don't think it's probable given what's going on in the Bitcoin market. In fact, I think it's a highly unlikely scenario.
I'm not seeing it on the daily. Stop.
Can you turn off the Ichimoku cloud for a minute?
Is it the daily or the 4 hourly? Because I haven't seen
it might be the 4 hourly that we have to, yeah, go back to the 4 hourly, I think. Go back to the weekly. Sorry, I'm trying to remember where I saw it. It's in the bigger pattern. Yeah, it's on the weekly. Here it is. And if you look at that, right around the high 29,000 levels, you know, there's a distance between the right shoulder and the left, but if you go straight across, that's a potential head and shoulders, right?
Is that what you're talking about, this here? And we haven't formed the shoulder yet.
Right.
So you think we could go down to $800?
I don't think it's probable. No, I don't. I think that's extremely unlikely. Okay. So don't hear likely in what I'm saying. I'm just saying if that forms into head and shoulders, if we break on the downward side, you know, we could end up with head and shoulders here. It could break down.
We would have to
Bitcoin almost never reaches its target should we break down. Almost never. But it is something to pay attention to because, you know, when we were at the top of the market, we had a huge head and shoulders and it broke downward, right? Yeah. So again, please don't hear probable in what I'm saying. Do not hear probable. Yeah. I'm just saying it's possible. We could have a head and shoulders forming here. And it doesn't have to...
it would have to break the bullish structure of the whole
market. Yeah. So, and we've seen that a lot in the price of Bitcoin. We've seen where it's broken down and then done a U-turn, right? It's called a busted pattern in trading, right?
But I'm looking at the total market structure. Like this is the market structure of the entire bull run, and and if we break below that pink, that means we're breaking the structure of the entire market.
Exactly, and it happens. I'm not saying it's probable. Yep. It's happened in Bitcoin 3 times now, right? So so don't hear that I think this is a likely scenario. I'm saying this is a scenario we should pay attention to, because if it does pay out, you want to have your wits about you. What's happening right now is a massive revolution in the global economy and the global monetary system. We've never seen this before. Like, this is as big as when money was first invented. That's how big this is as a paradigm shift on this planet, right? We've got COVID on the one hand causing countries to overprint money at unprecedented rates. If any one country was doing this in isolation, they would be in massive bankruptcy right now. The only thing that's saving us as a global economy is that every country on the planet is doing it, right? 3/4 of the money in existence has been printed in the last 18 months. We've also got the dawn of digital currencies. The world is moving paradigms to digital currencies. So all I'm saying is, we don't, like, as traders, we are predicting for you. We are telling you the most probable scenarios. But in circumstances like this, the unprobable, the black swan events can happen. And in hindsight, they were predictable. right? Like in hindsight, if it plays out that we do some kind of disastrous scenario where we break the entire market structure, because it does happen in currencies that the entire market structure gets broken, right? If it happens, in hindsight, we'll have all kinds of reasons why it was predictable. Oh yeah, COVID was creating this and cryptocurrency was new and the big players were coming in and blah, 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 blah. We'll have 50 reasons why we should have been able to predict it in hindsight. So all I'm saying is pay attention. Pay attention, because I think the most probable scenario is what Nicola and I are laying out, and that's the way I'm trading, and that's the way I recommend you trade. But don't go in blindly in a circumstance like this, because there is a massive global paradigm shift going on. The reality is anyone who tells you they can predict the markets is lying. No one can predict the markets. We don't know what's going on here. We're in a Schmieder year, massive recession, major paradigm shifts going on in the planet. So just have your wits, pay attention, have your wits about you.
And basically what that means is when you're putting your trades in, make sure you've got proper risk management, and if it's volatile, reconsider what your stop losses are. So anyway, we're still going down the trend. There's nothing here, nothing anywhere saying we're going to have a trend reversal. We're saying might happen over the weekend or by Monday or Tuesday. So that means that over the weekend, we could see upward motion up to the top here of the resistance. We could see downward motion right back down to the bottom, and we could trade within here, or we could get tighter within our trading, which is actually happening. If you see, we're not going all the way down to the bottom of the actual beginning of the channel, right? We're starting to shorten those drops. So that means if you're shorting, don't leave your short open and open and open and then see the whole price swing back up, hoping and praying it's going to go back down again. Take your profit, take 50% out, take 75% out, get some profit out. And because you know what, if it goes back up, you can always add back into the trade. So that's what we're watching. We're watching this bear flag, seeing that it might become a Bart Simpson. So let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum, similar. These lines that I've drawn here, this is the entire bull run market structure. It's not the market structure of the movement. It's the entire bull run. So this goes all the way back to the 21st of December 2020. And you'll see that this line, this trajectory has really supporting the price action to the downside, right? We're not going below it. So, and then it's the same here. This is the trajectory of the rejection. So this is the line that we've got to break for Ethereum to get back up into, all-time highs and beyond. And in terms of the time frame, we could start breaking out in October, November, or December, January, right? Normally with these big patterns, they break out earlier, but that's the time frame. So don't be expecting, like a $6,000 Ethereum in the next few weeks or even the next month, right? Because we're coming down. And at the moment, the low in the market is around 2,074. It could be to 2,100 by the time we come down. So if we go down into the 1 hour to see is this tradable, we're in the middle of the pink lines, which means we could have volatility. The market could go either way. We're not over, when it's at the bottom, Teresa, we're not overbought, right? And we're not oversold. So we're waiting for a good position. And on a Friday, it's always tricky getting into a position from this time onwards on a Friday, unless there's a very clear pattern and there's a lot of volume in the breakout. But would you say this could also be a bear flag?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we could be going down further, considering we're still in the middle of the overarching market structure. I think it would be very possible that we're heading back down.
Yeah, we haven't had any signs of breaking high from lower highs to a higher high, or the other way around, lower lows to higher lows. That has not happened yet, and that's what we're looking for to see, trend reversal to the upside. So this could break down to the very least 25.7 0.76. So if we bring in the Fibonacci's, which I didn't bring in for Bitcoin, but I actually wrote them down for you. Where is the golden ratio, right? Let's just do it on this movement. So we're under the first golden ratio. Have you noticed that with TradingView? It's like it's shifted its...
Yeah, it's weird lately.
Yeah, this is really
That's
weird.
a technical term. Trading.
Yeah. So on this whole movement just here in this section, we have got confluence here with this bear flag and this Fibonacci level at the at around 2620. So that's a scalp short if you're experienced. The reason why I'm not shorting is because it could equally U-turn, as Teresa said. We're not meeting our short targets. So you've got to take your profit where you can. It just goes over a bit. But the golden ratio is down at 1757. So in theory, we could go down there. That would mean breaking the structure or having to redraw these lines. We just have to wait and see. But just be aware that that's what could happen. So if you're looking at getting into a long, again, you could dollar cost average, right? You could get in at 2,500, 2,590, not put your whole position in and stagger it all the way down to the pink line, even to the golden ratio. So the pink line is at 2,000, let's say 2,100 and then 1765. So that means if your liquidation point is above that, you've got too high a leverage for this market and the volatility in the market. And then what happens is you get to the bottom is in, the race is on, you've got a good position because you've dollar cost averaged down your long. You didn't miss it if you were waiting for lower prices, and we never got those lower prices. And then you can up your margin and you can up your leverage. That's one strategy. There's lots of strategies that you can use. Obviously, we're not financial advisors, but you want to consider that, map it out, write it down, and then decide whether or not you're going to do that. It's just that when we don't know where the bottom is, or if the bottom's in, or if we're going to get U-turns, because we've had U-turns in the past, that's just a good strategy.
Yeah.
You also,
well, the one thing we do know is that Bitcoin has a tendency to break the rules in a repeatable way.
Yeah.
You know, like, so we've seen a lot of Bitcoin breaking down, breaking the market structure as though there's a downward price action happening, and then U-turning.
Yeah.
And in the trading world, that's called a busted pattern, right? And we've
for
seen a
Ethereum.
lot of that with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and actually we're seeing it in XRP too.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why I don't trust the breakdowns, right? One of the reasons I'm not shorting in a dominant market is because we've seen that pattern a lot. And that is a price manipulation that the big players do to buy up your Bitcoin, right? They wait till everybody's got their shorts in, and then they U-turn the market. So just be cautious on that one. That's why you want to be using good risk management, right? Like, even when we hit the bottom of the dominant market structure, I'm still using good risk management. I'm going in, but I'm only going in with the 5% that I typically trade. Yeah. And when I'm clear on the market direction, then I might add another 5% when my stop loss is in profit, right?
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of people saying, oh, I put everything that I had in. It's like, you don't do that if you've not proved you're profitable.
Yes, exactly.
You start with 2%, then
you
go to 5%.
Exactly. I'm not presenting the alternative scenario because I think they're probable. I'm presenting them because I want you guys to understand that you still have to use good risk management, even though these are the probable scenarios. Yeah. Right? Because this is the kind of fall we're going to get black swan events in. It just is. Right? We see years like this repeatable every 7 or 15 years. And we see all kinds of black swan events in the world where, like Lehman Brothers, who would have predicted that? But in hindsight, it was predictable, right? In hindsight, the black swan event is predictable. So I would bet dollars to donuts that we'll see more than one black swan event this fall. Yeah.
So we have a bear flag here. I personally wouldn't short it because we've got the support line there at 2630, We've been talking about not meeting the lines. There's the last bottom at 26.54. We could be creating the higher low, which is telling us there's going to be a trend reversal. We don't know, and we could be going down. So for me, because it's the weekend and we're losing volume, I'm setting up for really good long positions, dollar cost averaging down in a smart way, so that so I don't miss the bottom, right? Because sometimes I've missed the bottom because I was waiting for it to go lower and it didn't. We got a bounce. So there we go. Just to finish off with XRP, and thank you for wishing me a happy birthday, Ethereum Coke. That's really nice of you. Oh, this is the 15-minute. Oh, this is something to watch on the 15-minute. That is we're finding support here at the 91.864 for XRP, but this is just on the 15-minute, right? That W's obviously been invalidated, but this is a bearish pattern mostly. Yeah, is it 60%, Teresa, or 80% break to the downside?
The pennant, you mean?
This here. Oh, you're calling that a bull pennant?
You know what? I'd have to pull. Could be.
Could be. I guess
that
it could be.
That could be a little bull pennant.
Does a bull pennant usually have a flat edge? Like, I thought that would be more of a.
Well, it depends on whether you call the lower wick part of your support line, right? Like you've drawn it flat because of the top of the W, but it actually is more of a pennant.
It's a pennant. Okay, well, let's look at both scenarios, guys.
Yeah. So
let's look at both scenarios.
I gotta look that one up. It's a tiny pennant. To me, that's probably not big enough to trade, because the risk reward ratio wouldn't be good enough.
Yeah,
like that's probably only not even a 2-to-1 trade.
89 cents.
So personally, unless you're adding a little bit to an existing trade, that's probably not a good risk reward ratio on one that small.
So we'll do that. Let's go on to the 1 hour, because it's the same, 5-day rather. It's the same thing for Ethereum. All of these coins have got the same pink lines here that they've never gone below, pink lines above, which we haven't broken above, which we should be getting to. This looked like this was a bull flag. We broke to the downside, and we could come as low as 66.8 or 50. I don't think we're going to go to 58.912, but it's possible, but I doubt it. So watch for that. We've got downward price action still happening, right? We're coming down, stepping down, coming up, stepping down. Looks like we're coming up a bit. On the 1 hour, on the 4 hour rather, this looks more like another bear pennant, not a bear pennant, bear flag forming, right? And I bet you if we go down into the 1 hour, yeah, we're going to see that. So this is another option for dollar cost averaging down to get into the a really good long position, so you don't miss the bounce.
Yeah.
If you just joined us and you don't know what I'm talking about, you might need to go back to the beginning when we're talking about Bitcoin and how to dollar cost average in with your spot trading and your margin trading, so you get the best lowest position possible. So sorry, I'm being a bit pedantic. 85 cents, right? 85 to, but bearing in mind, this is the continuation of the channel we broke to the upside out of. We've come back down into the pattern. We're right up against the resistance. If we don't break resistance within the next couple of hours, this means that we've hit it so many times and we've not broken up to the upside, then it's most likely that we would at least come back down to 90 cents. And if we break down, we're going to 85 cents. And then if we keep breaking down, we could come down to the bottom of this channel, which is at around 81 cents 642. And then, of course, if we get a freak, movement to the downside, we can come all the way down to around about 66, 67 cents, possibly lower. Let's have a look at Ichimoku. Oops, no, those are the support lines. Yeah, look at that. We're getting a little bit of upward trajectory in that green Ichimoku cloud, and then a pretty sharp drop down into resistance.
Yeah,
so I think
pretty bearish.
Yeah, I don't think that this is going to break its break this resistance much. It might fake out and come back down. So again,
if you look at the VPVR, most of the volume in the market's above us right now too, for all three of these coins, for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. So it's looking pretty bearish, guys. So if you are shorting, there could be a short here. Personally, I'm looking to trade the bottom.
Yeah, I'm looking to get a really good position. And look, with the Ichimoku on the 4 hour is showing continued downward action. And one of the things I just want you to see with the price action is we're still going down with no signs of a trend reversal, right? So that's really important. We had an M here, a big M on the 4 hourly, and we haven't actually met that target. Now, the difference between bearish and patterns on larger time frames is that they generally tend to play out more often and meet their targets than those on the 1 hour or the shorter time frames. So I would say we were probably going to head down to at least 84 cents if we don't go down to 81, and we could topple all the way down to the pink line again to create an Elliott wave formation for the C formation, which I don't pay too much attention to because often they're getting invalidated. So that is that. Now, the other thing I wanted to look at on the bigger time frame, remember, what we're doing is establishing a higher high. So don't panic. We're going up. Look at this. This is where we trend reversed here. We've come back down. So we're looking for the trend reversal of where's the next highest low, right? So, and when we get there and we get that bottom in, we're not coming back down here again. When we come back down, we'll come back down at a higher low, according to this pattern. I mean, obviously the pattern could always break, but hasn't yet. So that's it. Thank you for your birthday greetings. Reminder to subscribe, hit the bell, click all, especially if you are interested in making money with NFTs, because we've got a free course that I'm introducing next week, and you're going to follow me entering my NFTs onto the market and see how we do it. I have a background in sales and marketing, and online marketing. I've been online marketing since it started in the mid to late 90s. That's 1990 for you millennials, and and a huge background in that area. And that's what's sadly missing in a lot of the free videos that you see online. Everybody can show you how to make an NFT, upload it to Ocean, connect MetaMask, all that sort of thing. That's all free, but there is nuances and things that you need to know in order for them to actually sell, which we're going to be doing. So I'm really excited about that.
And Nicola will be talking about this at the Conscious Crypto event coming up too. So if you haven't got your ticket yet, you definitely want to get your ticket for that event. Nicola's one of the smartest people I know, so I'm really excited about doing this event with you. We've got some of the top YouTubers out there, all the people we love to watch and the people we love to learn from, because this is going to be an interesting fall, right? There's so many shifts going on the planet. We want to be able to trade the smaller trends, but not lose sight of the big picture elements that we need to really be talking about. So I'm super excited about this roster. MMCrypto, DaVinci J15, Crypto Wendy, Jeroen van Lange from the blockchain today. We got Didi Taihutu from the Bitcoin family. These are some incredibly smart people if you follow their channels. It's going to be an amazing conversation. So make sure you get your ticket before the next price hike.
Yeah, absolutely, which is the 30th of September. So the link for that is below, theconsciouscryptoevent.com/2021. It takes you to the 2021 page. It's 3 days of rubbing shoulders with these traders and tax experts and mindset experts to get your strategy in place for the super cycle, right? It's falling right around when we may see a massive hike. So you'll be learning so many things, and keep some cash handy because you might be going out and buying, all sorts of different coins as we're giving you all the tips. And Teresa, I had somebody say, I don't think I'm ready for this yet. I've just started trading. And one of our biggest things that we say here on this channel over and over again, if you're just beginning, the money you do not invest in events like this or workshops or education or courses is money you lose in trades. And most people lose 90% of their portfolio in the first 6 months.
Yeah. You've lost more than this on single trades, guys.
Yeah.
So invest in yourself. Successful people. I think, I went back and did a calculation a few years ago, and I've spent more than $1 million on my own training and my own, just ability to be a ability to be a successful individual, so you never stop investing in yourself. You want to find mentors, you want to find people who are smarter than you. One of the reasons Nicola and I put this event together is we wanted to get people who were smarter than us, talking at our event. So we went out to the smartest people we knew in this space and brought them together to do this fundraiser. So this is a fundraiser. Every penny we raise is going into infrastructure projects here in our community here in Costa Rica. So thank you all, those of you who've supported our channel and supported our fundraising, because it really does make a difference in a lot of people's lives down here.
Oh, absolutely. So for those of you new to the channel, we have live streams every Wednesday for setting up for the week. Often we go live on a Friday. Sometimes we go live on a Sunday or a Monday, depending if there's fireworks in the market and it's worth it. But we are uploading tutorial videos every day, teaching you mindset, strategies for margin trading and spot trading, scenarios that are going to affect the price action so that you make sure that your longs and your shorts are protected, all sorts of different techniques that you and indicators that you want to be using, as well as managing your emotions. So we want to teach you everything you need to know so you aren't losing money, or you become more profitable and you're positioned to create life-changing wealth. So that being said, if there are fireworks in the market on Sunday, I think I will go live. Because this is an important bottom, right? This is the bottom that won't happen again. And if we get it on Sunday, then unless it's late and I'm in bed, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So subscribe, hit the bell, click all so you get notified when we go live and when we upload videos. And until then, trade consciously.
Trade consciously.